Good morning, students. So, today we will continue with respiration. We will start with types of respiration. So, on the basis of the requirement of oxygen, there are two types of respiration. What are these? Aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. On the basis of the requirement of oxygen, there are two types of respiration, that is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Now, what is aerobic respiration? Aerobic respiration is also known as oxybiotic. Oxygen is coming from O2. Okay. Biotic, it means it is found in the living organisms. So that is why it is oxybiotic. Okay. So respiration, which is done in the presence of oxygen by the living organisms, is also known as oxybiotic respiration. So what happens in this? In this type of respiration, this respiration will proceed only in the presence of oxygen. There will be complete oxidation of glucose or complete breakdown of glucose in aerobic respiration. And what are the end products of aerobic respiration? Then end products of aerobic respiration are carbon dioxide, water, and 38 molecules of ATP. So, the first type of respiration on the basis of the requirement of oxygen is the aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is also known as oxybiotic respiration, or why it is known as oxybiotic respiration? Because this respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen among the living organisms. This respiration will proceed only in the presence of oxygen. In this type of respiration, there will be complete breakdown or complete oxidation of glucose molecule. And the end products of this respiration is carbon dioxide, water, and 38 molecules of ATP. Now, we have to see the chemical equation of aerobic respiration. So, chemical equation, the first one is the word equation, second one is the molecular equation. So, word equation, you observe glucose combines with oxygen. So, it is oxidation of glucose. It gives carbon dioxide, it gives water, and it gives energy in two forms, some amount of heat energy and 38 molecules of ATP. Now, what is the molecular formula of glucose? That is C6H12O6. Molecular formula of oxygen is O2. So, one molecule of glucose is combining with 6 molecules of oxygen. It forms 6 molecules of carbon dioxide. It gives 6 molecules of water and 38 molecules of ATP. Okay, it gives 38 molecule of ATP. You know that respiration occurs in two major steps, glycolysis and Krebs cycle. So glycolysis will occur in the cytoplasm and Krebs cycle will occur in the mitochondria. Okay, Krebs cycle will occur in the mitochondria. So Krebs cycle occurs in the mitochondria, glycolysis occurs in the cytoplasm. Now the another type of respiration on the basis of requirement of oxygen is what? Anaerobic respiration, which is also known as anoxybiotic respiration. An without aerobic oxygen, and without oxygen, the respiration occurring in the living organisms is known as anoxybiotic respiration. Then respiration which occurs in the absence of oxygen is known as what? Anaerobic respiration or anoxybiotic respiration. In this type of respiration, there will be incomplete breakdown of oxygen. Okay. Then What is the end product of anaerobic respiration in plants? That is ethyl alcohol, carbon dioxide, and only 2 molecules of ATP. Whereas in the aerobic respiration, there is the formation of 38 molecules of ATP. Then here the chemical equation is given. So this anaerobic respiration is also known as fermentation, or this respiration is also found in certain bacteria, fungi, and some plant parts. This respiration occurs in the absence of oxygen. Word equation is 1 molecule of glucose come on the incomplete breakdown, or in the absence of oxygen it gives 2 molecules of ethanol, 2 molecules of carbon dioxide, and 2 molecules of ATP. Okay, clear? So 1 molecule of glucose by incomplete breakdown gives 2 molecules of ethanol, 2 molecules of carbon dioxide, and 2 molecules of ATP. Ethanol's formula is C2H5OH, carbon dioxide CO2, and 2 molecules of ATP. Then there is a difference between anaerobic respiration in plants and certain microorganisms. So certain plant parts can respire anaerobically only for few days, and if still it will not get the oxygen for aerobic respiration, so in the absence of oxygen, in the presence of anaerobic respiration, that plant part will ultimately die. Whereas microorganisms, they normally respire anaerobically throughout their life, because these microorganisms in due course of evolution on this earth, oxygen was not found in the free state, it was found in the combined state like water, carbon dioxide. So in that course of time, the organisms, they survived due to the presence of anaerobic respiration, and still those organisms are there. So those microorganisms respires anaerobically throughout their life, and it is normal for them. Okay, whereas it is not normal for the plants, and such plant parts which is performing anaerobic respiration may die in the absence of oxygen. In this chapter, we will see that certain germinating seeds are also performing anaerobic respiration. Okay. Then here is the comparison between the aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. The respiration which takes place in the presence of oxygen is aerobic respiration. The respiration which takes place in the absence of oxygen is known as anaerobic respiration. The respiration in which there is complete oxidation of glucose takes place, whereas in anaerobic respiration there is incomplete oxidation of glucose molecule is there. The end products of aerobic respiration is carbon dioxide, water. Here the end products are ethyl alcohol or lactic acid. Lactic acid is produced in human beings, like certain times in our case our muscle cells is not getting enough oxygen. So at that time the muscle cells perform anaerobic respiration, and as a result of which lactic acid is produced, and due to that deposition of lactic acid we feel tired and fatigued. So lactic acid occurs in our muscle cells. For plants there is ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide. Okay, lots of energy is produced, that is 38 molecules of ATP. Here relatively very less amount of energy is produced, that is 2 ATP. It occurs in plant cell as well as an animal cell, whereas anaerobic respiration will occur normally in anaerobic bacteria and human muscle cells. Okay, the equation is C6H12O6 that is 1 molecule of glucose, combines with 6 molecules of oxygen to give 6 molecules of carbon dioxide, 6 molecules of water, and 38 molecule of ATP. Okay, and by complete hydrolysis of 38 molecules of ATP, 686 kilocalories of energy is produced. In anaerobic respiration, 1 molecule of glucose in the absence of oxygen, it is giving 2 molecules of ethyl alcohol, 2 molecules of carbon dioxide, and 2 molecules of ATP. Okay, so this much is for today's class. Thank you everyone, and please note down the notes in your copy.